Israel military base destroyed near Egypt border. Was Hamas behind? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's being reported that an Israeli military base has been completely destroyed near the border with Egypt. So let's get straight to it. We have what looks like a bombed-out military facility. We don't know the full story yet on this one. We don't know if Hamas was behind this or not. It could well be though. Let's take a look at some of the other images we have coming out of the area, and then we will show you where this is located. So here we see these Hamas militants standing next to the burning wreckage of what looks like a military facility. So it's hard to tell exactly what sort of military hardware was stored in this facility. It looked pretty large. It looks like it's in a state of complete destruction. This video has just come in. Again, we can't confirm who is behind this attack yet. The Israel Defense Forces have just released a statement saying they are looking into the incident. So now let's try and work out where this is, and let's go to our live feed from Gaza City. So the location of this destroyed military base is actually not far from here at all. If we zoom in, there's a live feed from Gaza City. We'll get to that shortly. But if we pan across towards the southwest, south of the center of the Gaza Strip, the Gaza City area, you can just about make out, again, the very southern part of the Gaza Strip right here. Now we've just got some more footage in of this destroyed installation. I think we can probably make out the entrance to it. Looks like it was hit, perhaps with a missile or some sort of explosive device. There does look like it may have been a secondary explosion inside the site, which is causing the rest of the installation to ignite and then ultimately collapse. And you can see the site just before that final explosion happened. We also have an infrared drone video just before that final explosion happened, which caused the whole building to collapse. You can clearly see a plume of smoke coming from the source of that explosion. You can see how hot it is compared to the surrounding environment. We believe the fire is now spreading through fuel canisters and other military stores. Here we see some more footage of the actual explosion itself. It looks like the military base had some sort of roof over it, some sort of awning. You can see the fire spreading underneath that cover. Then you can see the explosion rip through the installation. Then, after the initial explosion happens, we see the roof completely collapse onto the floor. So this was definitely a significant explosion. This was definitely a significant strike. Now, let's go back to some of the earlier footage we showed you. You saw those Hamas fighters standing next to the burning wreckage. Let's take a look at the wider image that was shared alongside that photograph. As you can see, this is a destroyed military facility. There's no doubt about it. You can see the burned-out remains of what looks like armored vehicles in the foreground. And then you can see the main building itself completely destroyed behind that. It looks like this is a direct hit on this main building. That looks like some sort of large structure to me. I'm finding it hard to make out what it is. It looks like there's some sort of vehicle parked up outside the main entrance, possibly a bulldozer. You can see the side of that vehicle completely caved in. And again, I just want to reiterate, we don't know if this is the work of Hamas or not yet. What we do know is the Israel Defense Forces are saying they are investigating the incident. They put out a statement saying they are looking into it. The Israel Defense Forces did not say it wasn't the work of Hamas. They didn't rule out any possibility. So I'm gonna go with the working theory for now that it is the work of Hamas until we hear otherwise. And I'm gonna go with the working assumption that this is a significant blow against Israeli forces. Here we see an IDF soldier keeping watch over the border fence. They're looking into the Gaza Strip. So this is from the Gaza border fence, which is around 8 kilometers away from this destroyed military base. Here we see another view of the burning military base. Again, it's really hard to make out what this military base was, what it was used for, what sort of equipment was kept there. But again, this is a major blow either way. Regardless of what was kept here, this would have been used by the Israeli military to support operations against the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. We now have another video coming out of the area. This looks like it's a short time later. There's still smoke rising from the destroyed installation. You can see the IDF forces now have their hands full trying to deal with the aftermath of this attack. So we've seen a number of videos coming out of the area showing a variety of different things. We've seen Hamas fighters standing next to the burning wreckage. We've seen the explosion. We've seen the plume of smoke rising afterwards. We've seen the wider angle, the extent of the damage to the installation itself. And now we're seeing footage of the aftermath where Israeli soldiers are just kind of confused, aren't really sure what to do next. And you can see the amount of smoke rising from the site there. There's quite a few soldiers now gathering. It looks like they're trying to coordinate what to do next. The Israel Defense Forces are moving additional resources to the area. We understand that there were some smaller arms depots in the vicinity of this main installation that also needs to be accounted for. This could be the start of something bigger. We just don't know at this point. As you can see, this was some sort of large installation. It definitely wasn't just a small border post or a small guard tower. This looks like it was a significant installation, whatever it was used for, and now it's completely destroyed. So let's try and show you where this is. Where is this? So this is the Israel-Gaza border. You can see the Gaza Strip right here, where Hamas says it launched its offensive from. And then you can see the Egyptian border right here. And so this destroyed military base was actually situated near to the border with Egypt. Now, this isn't a hugely strategic area in terms of the border with Egypt. Most of the action has been happening further east along the border. But nonetheless, this is a huge explosion, a huge attack on an Israeli military facility. So let's get another satellite image. We've got some satellite imagery from shortly before the explosion occurred. This shows us the location of the military base. Here we see what looks like an Israeli military vehicle driving past the border fence. You can just about make out the Gaza Strip. In the background, there's a Palestinian flag flying from one of the vehicles. We also have footage from yesterday of the Egyptian border patrol, the Egyptian military checking vehicles heading into Egypt. And here's a photo of the destroyed gate at the entrance to the facility. So this is the entrance to the installation. You can see the gate has completely collapsed. This is what you would have seen if you drove up to the installation. And then when you arrived, when you passed through those gates, this is what you would have seen, the front facade of the installation itself. And it's hard to tell what sort of equipment was housed here. And at this stage, we don't know if anything was actually stored inside the building because it is very much a war zone. The Israel Defense Forces are still pushing forward in Gaza. It is still ongoing. At this stage, we can't access the site, so all we can do is look at satellite imagery. And based on the satellite imagery, we can't see anything of value being removed from the site since the attack. So here's a photo of the military base. We believe this was taken before the explosion. And here is another angle. Again, this is obviously some sort of large installation, whatever it was used for. We just don't know at this stage. We now have a statement from Hamas spokesperson Abu Ubaida. He's saying the recent operation proves the weakness of the Zionist entity, the entity's inability to protect itself, its people, and its military bases. So this was a significant attack. This was a blow to the ego of the Israeli military, and Abu Ubaida is rubbing salt into the wound. He's telling them this attack proves your weakness. And here we have Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant meeting with senior security officials discussing the latest developments. No doubt the attack on this military base will be top of the agenda. We now have some more footage coming in of this destroyed military base. These photographs show us the aftermath of the attack. It shows us what the site looked like immediately following the explosion. You can see a bulldozer or some sort of heavy machinery damaged in the foreground. You can see the burnt out remains of what looks like an APC or some sort of light armored vehicle. And then you can see the main building completely destroyed behind that. And again, I just want to reiterate, we don't know if this is the work of Hamas or not yet. What we do know is the Israel Defense Forces are saying they are investigating the incident. The Israel Defense Forces did not say it wasn't the work of Hamas. They didn't rule out any possibility. So I'm going to go with the working theory for now that it is the work of Hamas until we hear otherwise. And I'm going to go with the working assumption that this is a significant blow against Israeli forces. This is the current situation in the region. We're starting to see attacks against Israeli military targets in Sinai. We're starting to see the possibility of the war expanding into Egypt. Is the war expanding into Egypt?